didn't think it'd be you.
Why? Don't you think I'd want to do my part to help the Traveler? And anyway, no one's more qualified than the Masters of the Nightwind when it comes to Natlan's ancient history.
Ancient history? Wow. Even by Seatlali standards?
If you think I didn't hear that, you're sorely mistaken. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. I don't know if you noticed, but Kenichi's little sidekick has been acting a little strange around INEFFA. After you parted ways, Kenichi put him in timeout for 3 whole days and nights. Then, he had INEFFA send Kakuku to torment him for another night. Finally, Ahau got so infuriated with Kakuku's pestering that he lost his cool and let slip a crucial piece of information. 2 words: Sovereign Ruler.
Sovereign ruler? So what? Isn't that just how he introduces himself?
It is, and I always assumed it was a load of hot air. But apparently not. Turns out the title refers to the 13 Dragon Lords who ruled Natlan in ancient times. Wait, really? How? It took me forever to figure this out. Anyway, the 13 sovereign rulers are not ordinary dragons, but forms of artificial intelligence created by the Pyro Dragon using secret source technology. They had superior intelligence and greater authority than even the ancient dragons themselves. Each ruled over a portion of Natlan's territory. But one by one, they disappeared during the war with the heroes. Even most of their names are unknown now, long since buried in the sands of time. If we hadn't managed to pry that tidbit out of Ahau's mouth, I would have had no idea where to even start.
I always thought that little monster's biggest claim to fame was arguing with Kakuku for an entire day. He has quite a history then, huh? Which of the 13 was he?
Not a clue. So far, he has staunchly refused to reveal which of the sovereign rulers he was. My guess is that he doesn't even remember. Remember, these rulers were supposed to be powerful forms of artificial intelligence. And Ahau, well, it hardly seems like he's still in his prime. I'll bet he's lost most of his memories and power by now.
Lost memories.
Yet, despite that, Ahau seemed to sense the presence of a fellow sovereign ruler when you were nearby. Specifically, it's the core in your chest he was reacting to.
What? INEFFA's a sovereign ruler too?
Could be. Kenichi and INEFFA have been keeping a close watch on Ahau, in case he reveals anything else. But so far, it seems like those 2 words are all he remembers.
Darn! So the trail's gone cold.
Not completely. There's also Lianka and the Flower Feather clan, both of which have triggered a response from INEFFA so far. And as it happens, out of the sovereign rulers that I was able to dig up information on, there was one who had a very close relationship with Lianka. Her name was the Priestess of Floral Candles and Skyborn Feathers, otherwise known as the 8th Lord. She ruled over what is now the Flower Feather clan's territory. The records claim that she didn't die in the war with humanity, but was executed by her own kind. Her crime being betrayal of dragonkind by secretly raising a human. Lianka.
Huh? Chaska, did you know this?
Some of it. Our tribe's origin story has Lianka being raised by a dragon. And of the 6 heroes, she had the closest relationship with dragonkind. After raising her, her surrogate mother then encouraged her to leave the nest and seek her own path. She traveled far and wide, settling disputes between humans and Saurians. She didn't pick sides based on past grievances between humanity and dragonkind. She stood up for the weak, protecting them from those more powerful who sought to exploit them. Gradually, a community of like-minded people and Saurians gathered around her, united by their desire for freedom and equality. And that was how the Flower Feather clan began. But that's as much as the legends say. They never mentioned her dragon mother's name, or what became of her in the end.
Oh, sorry. My cognition module is acting up again. At some point during this conversation, it started behaving very erratically. You mentioned that the priestess of floral candles and skyborn feathers was executed. Might I ask how?
Unfortunately, the humans of that time weren't privy to all the details of dragon affairs. The only records we have are vague references from after the fact. It's very possible that this is mere speculation or complete fabrication, so don't give too much weight to it. But for what it's worth, it's said that a curse was placed on the priestess by one of the other rulers. If she truly harbors pro-human sentiment, then for every ounce of goodwill she feels, may her mind be flooded with pain of immeasurable proportions. In the savage conflict and chaos that followed, the priestess's mind was ultimately destroyed.
Jeez, what a bizarre method of execution. Definitely sounds like the history writers used some artistic license there.
I'm fine. This didn't seem to trigger any erratic behavior. So, do you think that my origins have something to do with this sovereign ruler?
Interesting. Well, it's hard to say what, if any, direct connection you have to the Eighth Lord. But since the name Lianka seems to ring a bell for you, why don't you look into it yourself? I brought some woven scrolls with me that might be useful. Have a look if you're interested. Here, take them. Don't say anything. In a moment, I'm going to leave. I need you to join me, discreetly. It's just a little spell based on our prior experience. I'll explain everything shortly when you catch up with me. Well, I need to get going now. If I find out anything more, I'll keep you updated.
Gratitude. Goodbye.
Bye, St. Lolly.
Now's your chance. Slip away quietly while they've got their heads buried in those woven scrolls. Meet me at the other side of the settlement.
Would a machine created by dragons really betray its own kind? She seemed to approve of the path her daughter took. But what about her? What path did she take?
None of the legends of Lianka say anything about her dragon mother defecting to humanity and fighting against dragonkind. Sounds like speculation to me. Maybe the other sovereign rulers just didn't trust her.
So mean. Do you think it's possible that Lianka found a way to secretly save the priestess of, flower feather something? Let's fly!
Hello, traveler. Well, see, Lolly hasn't told you everything. There's another sovereign ruler that INEFFA might be connected to, not just the one from the Flowerfeather clan.
All trace of this other sovereign ruler was lost after the war. The records claim that in their final battle, they fought against Ishkik and Lianka.
It was, my idea. I suggested we bring up the Dragon Mother first and see how INEFFA responds. And, well, see, Lolly has debriefed me on how it went. Apparently, she barely reacted, despite a very strong reaction to the name Lianka. And to me, that says we need to tread very carefully when probing her about the 11th Lord.
She's the one who went missing after the war. Said to be the proudest of all the sovereign rulers, and the most hostile towards humanity. When the Pyro Dragon fell, she couldn't accept that dragonkind had been defeated. She sank into despair and insanity. But the rest is lost to history. There's no way to find out what became of her, or even what her name was.
Remember, though, in essence, these sovereign rulers weren't physical entities, but pure intelligence, built with secret source technology. I mean, who knows what happens when a manufactured mind goes mad? Maybe she lost her power and memories. Maybe she split into different personalities.
The point is, if INEFFA really does originate from the 11th Lord, then we need to...
What? Have her taken out? Because of some baseless speculation? How would that be any different from what they did to Lyanka's mother?
Chaska, what brings you here?
Anyone with a brain could see you were up to something back there. Unless it's a Paimon brain. Or a robot brain.
Okay, you got us. Actually, we never intended to cut you out of this. It's just that see, Lolly's spell only works on the Traveler. But Chaska, I'm telling you, we have legitimate concerns here. This is not baseless speculation. Ever since INEFFA set sail for Natlan, the secret source automatons have been getting increasingly aggressive. It's as if they're drawn to each other. INEFFA could well be the 11th Lord herself. And if so, then the moment she recovers her memory, all of us, all of humanity, will instantly become her enemy.
I've been keeping an eye on movements at the Flower Feather clan. Whatever she was in the past, and whoever she becomes in the future, I trust who she is today.
Even if the past and future INEFFA are a completely different person from who she is now?
If you're suggesting that there's a volatile force within her, threatening to rise up and take over at any given moment, that makes two of us. But no one ever gave up on me. Not Mama Bird, not Koichi, not my dad. So what right do I have to give up on her? If Lyanka was here, I have every confidence that she'd say the same. Besides, even if the 11th Lord rises again and declares all of us her enemy, the solution is simple. We defeat her. The heroes managed it, so there's no reason we can't too.
Fine, fine. I had a feeling this might be your reaction.
Look, I get it. You're only acting like the villain here to make us realize how serious the situation is. You know how I know that? Because when I was a kid, they brought me to you for treatment, and you didn't give up on me either.
Yeah, well, playing the villain is a force of habit for old Granny by this point. Just know you've been warned, all right? Watch out for any new developments and make sure you know where she is at all times. Hey, the spell hasn't worn off yet, you know. Anyway, now that we're all caught up, you should get back on INEFFA watch, and we should get back to investigating.
Help! Someone! Oh, Chaska? What are you all doing here? And when did Shilonan show up?
Paimon, you were supposed to stay with INEFFA.
Oh, right, INEFFA. Something weird happened. She got halfway through those woven scrolls and then flew off all of a sudden. Paimon tried to stop her, but she wouldn't come back.
Did something trigger a new memory? This doesn't make any sense. She barely responded when we were chatting. What could it be?
No idea. But it must be something important, because she sure looked like she was in a hurry. Also, she said, Annihilation mode activated.
Okay, Chaska, you're our eye in the sky. Find out where she's gone. We'll inform everyone else. Tell them to be on high alert.
Roger that.